Hey guys, welcome to my home. It's not quite October 1st and we have Halloween decorations out because Megan likes Halloween, so the decorations are up. And she did all of them, so I can't take credit for it. I wanted to talk for a couple minutes and reflect on a couple of things. Do you ever feel like that you're still 3 years old inside? And what I mean by that is like this selfishness that is like a toddler. It rears up in front of you, man, almost daily. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I find that if my day's not going well or I don't like something, it really comes down to the fact that I'm not getting what I want. And that makes me about 3 inside. I think we're born into this world with just this innate selfishness that we have to learn to overcome. I mean, if you have kids, you see this, right? Like one of the first things they say is mine, mine, mine. And then as they get older, like it's all about them. And it's frustrating to us as adults because it's the simple things for them that it's all about, and that they're upset if they don't get this, they're upset when it's time to go to bed. But I think as we get older, it's still about us. Just the things that it's about, the things that get us worked up change, like they become bigger things. But at the end of the day, I get upset when I'm not getting my way. I want to share with you a little story, a time that I actually got it right, but I almost didn't. And if you watch enough of my videos, you'll find out that I've made huge mistakes. So I'm not the guy sitting here telling you that I get it right and be like me, but this was a time that just by the grace of God, I happened to get it right. So a few weeks ago, Megan and I were going to San Francisco and we're on our layover to get out there. And we realized she had made some plans with family that were out there, which was fine, but she was wrong about what time we were getting in San Francisco time. And then we were staying our first night in Sausalito at this cute little boutique hotel right on the water. And I was excited about getting there and just enjoying the view and the ocean and the whole thing. And so I see our day getting phase shifted later and later. And we're at our layover, and I'm starting to get upset about this because I'm like, yeah, I want to see your family, but I still want to get to our hotel. And I had all this worked out in my mind of the way I thought it was going to go down. And then it's not happening that way. And so I feel myself getting upset inside, and I'm not happy because the day's not going the way I wanted it to go. And so I'm starting to, kind of show this a little bit and putting up some resistance. And then there's this little voice inside my head that whispers, it's not about you. And I kind of push that off to the side because it is about me. It's my vacation. It's our vacation. And then the more we're talking and she's starting to kind of apologize, I didn't realize when we were getting in, and that voice comes back and it says, it's not about you. And so that time I listened, and as we're chatting, I'm like, babe, it's okay. I think I even said that. I'm like, it's not about me. It'll be fine. And you know what happened? We had an amazing day. Had a wonderful visit with family. We got cooked fresh caught salmon for dinner, and then made our way to the hotel, got to the hotel a couple hours before sunset, and it was a perfect day. It was a perfect travel day. The whole trip was incredible. And then I got to thinking later, like, if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't paused, if I hadn't thrown off that selfishness, what would the day have been like? Right? Because I've lived those days too. It would have been angst and strife, and because there was something inside of me that I wanted her to know that I was displeased. I didn't like that my plans were getting changed, and the way that I thought the day would ideally go, it wasn't happening. And so part of me wanted her to know that, like wanted her to feel that. And so I could have done that. I could have just made a big deal of it, or made not so big of a deal, but just been a little put off and distant. And it would have changed the tenor of the whole day, for sure. Maybe the whole trip. But we're called as believers, Paul tells us husbands that we should love our wives like we love ourselves. And we're told by Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount that we should be humble and meek. Basically, all of this teaching is about how it's not about me. And that's easy to hear and say we'll implement, but we got to implement it in the moment. Like when stuff is going down, that's when we have to listen to that voice and say, this is not about me. I want you to try that. Try that the next time you're feeling that sort of, this day is going to go one way or the other with my spouse, or even outside of your marriage relationship, just in life. And I think if we can acknowledge in the moment that, hey, I'm being 3 years old, we can kind of throw that off a little bit easier and just breathe through it and remind ourselves, like, it's not really about us. And I'll tell you that in all parts of my life, the less my life is about me, the better it keeps getting. I mean, that's the truth. And that's not anything that I've done on my own. It's part of this spiritual maturity that I've come into over the past couple of years that turned my life around. So the next time that you're in a situation and you're starting to get upset and worked up over how the day is going, or how your spouse is treating you, or what decisions are being made that are maybe outside of your control, try it. Remind yourself, this is not about me. And do it with a smile on your face. And just see what happens. Let me know. See you guys.